So today I want to look through all of the perks and which ones I want to choose and which one I wouldn't choose for the characters that I will play, because I feel as though it's good to sort of have a clearer view on which ones you should choose and which one you shouldn't choose, because, well, there's a lot of diversification. I feel like every single one has their uses and their downsides, so I just want to sort of go through them. So this is all of them listed, starting with D.Va. The two minor perks that D.Va gets is Bunny Stomp and Ejection Suit, which you know, I think obviously that's very out of mech based, sort of making sure that when you're out of mech you can live longer. I feel like it'd be better to get the 75% over health instead of the Cool Mech's damage range, because the Cool Mech's damage range is quite small, but you do see it kill people very often. I know when I play Lucio I'm getting stomped by it, so I think, you know, I feel like they're gonna have to change that one in some sense, because I feel as though it's not good enough to pick over living longer when out of mech. So you're gonna go with the ejection suit probably. Shield system: convert 150 health to shields. Defense matrix restores shields based on 25% of its damage absorbed. I mean, that one's quite complicated, but it's sort of, you know, as soon as you pick it, you can have 150 health that shields, which is good. You know, that's regen health. You're gonna get that back quicker. That's very helpful. And also, when you use defense matrix, you can sort of almost instantly restore that, depending on what you're absorbing. So that one's definitely definitely a big contender. Heavy rockets: micro missiles are swapped for heavy rockets, which fire fewer projectiles with increased damage and explosion size. I feel like that's depending on, so these two are actually dependent on how you're playing the game and how you know your play style, because I feel as though when you look at it, you know, the shield system keeps you alive, and D.Va already does enough damage as it is, even with the little missiles. So it's either you want to live longer and you know, stand your ground better, which is usually the tank role, not really for D.Va though. D.Va's usually a dive. Or do you want to deal more damage to characters that you can already kill pretty easily? So I feel as though with this one, it just depends on the opponents you're going up against. You may need the shield system, you may need the heavy rocket. It really is just dependent on what you're facing. So there's a decision there. Doomfist's minor perks are 1-2, which is hitting an enemy with rocket punch reloads all hand cannon ammo. Very good. Survival of the fittest: the best defense grants 25 over health for eliminations, and its over health is increased by 50. I feel as though you'd have to go with the reloads ammo. I feel like just being able to deal more damage, you know, Doomfist doesn't really have much survivability. However, I don't really play Doomfist because I can't get into his playstyle. It's not sort of something that I would want to go into. So yeah, I feel as though going with being able to deal more damage, having his hand cannon ammo allows you to slam like punch someone into the wall, dunk dunk, and then they're dead. So if you really want to sort of get picks on squishies, go with the 1-2. His major perks are seismic empowerment, which is hitting 3 or more enemies with seismic slam empowers rocket punch, and power matrix: power block absorbs projectiles for the first second of its duration. It's gonna have to be seismic empowerment. You know, there is quite often that you see Doomfist slamming down and hitting like 3 enemies, and you know, it's kind of scary when they do that, but they can't follow it up because it's the start of the round. That one is going to be dangerous because he's going to be able to go dung, and then you're going to just decimated. You're going to be killed immediately. So that's going to turn him really powerful. The power matrix is better for survival. You know, combining that with the survival of the fittest, you know, he's going to become a very difficult opponent to kill, but I don't feel like it's that important. Now we've got Hazard. Hazard's off the top. Violent leap slash deals 30% more damage to enemies above 250 health. That doesn't seem too helpful, but I guess it deals more damage to tanks. Reconstitution: jagged wall hits charge spike guard. Jagged wall hits charge spike guard with 25 energy up to 50 extra. So if someone walks into your jagged wall, you get your spike guard for longer, and or you get it quicker. So yeah, go with a sort of reconstitution. It allows him to survive better. Antarctic Zeal, Spike Guard spikes getting 20%, 25% lifesteal. That works nice with this one because you'll be able to lifesteal for longer. And Deep Leap, Violent Leap's range is increased by 20%. That works with Off the Top. So they sort of both work with each other. This one just depends on what you choose here. But I feel like I would choose Anarchic Zeal, Jesus. Which works with the reconstitution, which is what I'll choose. Junker Queen. Now Junker Queen's interesting because I feel like I'm decent with Junker Queen, so the sort of I understand it's a bit more than Hazard and Doomfist. I don't really play them that much. Rending Recall. Recalling Jagged Blade from a stuck target refreshes its wound. Battle Shout, Commanding Shout, fully reload Scattergun, and increase allied reload speed by 50%. That being a minor is crazy. That's the one you're going to choose. It doesn't really matter about this. This is good, but this is just so much better. Battle Shout, Shout is one of Junker Queen's most effective abilities. Very important to Junker Queen. So, sort of being able to be even more offensive with it is perfect. And then Deep Wounds. Scattergun hits extend your wound duration on those enemies by 0.25 seconds. Or whatever that says. Carnage's impact damage gains 100% lifesteal. Now, this is a difficult one because the Deep Wounds works with the Battle Shout, but being able to ult safely, yeah, I mean 100% lifesteal, that's going to turn Junker Queen into a real tank. So it just depends on how the game's going, but it's going to have to be Savage Citation. Savage Citation. That's what I'm going to go with. Oh, I was wrong in my video. Turns out that is a minor perk. So Malga's minor perks is Kinetic Bandolier. Overrun reloads up to 150 ammo while charging. Jesus. Or 2 hearts while on objective. Malga counts as 2. I thought this was a major perk. Wow. Well, I would probably choose the Kinetic Bandolier, but the 2 hearts one is good. And then Firewalker, Overrun ignites enemies on hit. I mean, that works with that one. Combat Fuel, critical hits grant Malga 2 temporary overhealth on Cardiac Overdrive's next use. Wow. I mean, Malga's going to be a real problem again. They're turning Malga into a real issue again. It's gonna have to be Combat Fuel. Just being able to have that next is crazy. Orisa, Heat Dissipator, primary fire, critical hits, refund heat, or fleeting bulwark. Fortify briefly grants an additional 100 overhealth when activated. It's going to be the fleeting bulwark. What if you're good enough with Orisa, you'll be able to sort of control. I know it's basically saying that you can continue shooting, but no, you do not need, balance it with cooldowns. All is good. Being able to live more, that's more important. So you're gonna go with that. Major perks: Charge Javelin. Hold right mouse button to charge Energy Javelin, increasing its speed and knockback, pierces enemies at full power. It's a good one, and then you can turn the Javelin Spin into a barrier. This is very dependent on the game that you're playing, but Charge Javelin just seems better. The Javelin Spin's good. The Javelin Spin is good enough. It does not need to turn into Orisa's barrier. So we'll go with Charge Javelin just so it makes it more powerful. Ramatra's minor abilities is Void Surge. Void Accelerator periodically releases a burst of 6 additional projectiles during continuous fire. That's good. Like that makes him more powerful. Prolonged barrier, void barrier's duration is increased by 25%. Void surge. Ramadra's barrier is a tricky one to sort of to look at, right? Because you put it down and it's up, and you can't really do anything other than when it's down, and it goes away quite quickly. He's not really built to have that barrier, so trying to make him built to have that barrier sort of goes against it. So you got to go with the Void Surge here, just allows him to have that better output. Nanite Repair. Ramatra is healed for 50 health per second while within Ravenous Vortex. Vengeful Vortex. While Ravenous Vortex is airborne, use E again to detonate it, dealing 50 damage and putting enemies downwards. I would say that if your supports aren't that good, or if you're not getting healed as much as you need, Nanite Repair is the way to go. And if they've got a Farah or a Mercy or an Echo or someone, Vengeful Vortex. It's going to be difficult to be able to like actually get them with it. It's going to be difficult to time it, but when you can, it's going to be very effective. So yeah, it's going to have to be Vengeful Vortex there for flying characters. Crusader's Resolve. Reinhardt's minor ability. Crusader's Resolve. While using Barrier Field, your passive health regeneration triggers 50% sooner. That's really nice. Fiery Uptake. Barrier Field is healed for 100% of Fire Strike's damage dealt. I feel as though you're gonna see the effects of Fiery Uptake a lot more than you're gonna see Crusader's Resolve, because the way that you use Reinhardt's shield usually is you'll go, and obviously if you're doing that, then you're not really going to get the effects of the healing buff. So Fiery Uptake, hit them with that, you get about 200 health back to your barrier, depending on how many people you hit. It's really good. Shield Slam. While Barrier Field is activated, use left mouse button to damage and knock back enemies. That's nice. Charge damage grants temporary over health for 50% of the damage dealt. I think Crushing Victory is better to do, better to go with. Shield Slam is nice, but that's only really effective when they're close to you. Getting that close with your shield to like the enemy team and such, just to bash them a little bit, isn't going to be as effective as people may let on. So it's going to be Crushing Victory. Scrap Hook. Chain Hook hits reload 2 ammo. They don't use any like cut that out. They don't use any punctuation, so it makes it difficult to read. But Chain Hook hits reload 2 ammo. That's okay. There have been quite a few instances where, I don't know, you know, when you're playing Roadhog, you hook someone in, you drag them, and he's started slapping down his gun. Awful scenario. So I agree with choosing that one, even over the hog toss. People are saying about it, but you don't need to throw it further. In fact, throwing it further, I feel like people will see that there'll be a problem. I know that some streamers were reacting like, it's not that deep. It's actually not that deep of a change. So, in general, yeah, it's going to have to be Scrap Hook, just because it gives you a guaranteed damage output. Invigorate. Take a breather rapidly increases Roadhog's movement speed by 30%. That's nice. That is good. Hydrogen Exposure. Take a breather also heals nearby allies for 50% of healing. It's going to have to be Hydrogen Exposure. As much as being able to move faster is better, keeping your team alive will keep you alive. Just because you can move faster doesn't guarantee your safety. Keeping everyone else alive guarantees your safety. So, yeah, it's going to be that one. Because if you're choosing the other one, you're being selfish and not really doing the tank role properly. So, but again, it just depends on how your team's playing. if your team and you believe that you're getting healed enough, being able to run away quicker is better. Sigma has kinetic cycle. Absorbing projectiles with kinetic grasp also reduces accretion's cooldown. That's nice. I feel like that is definitely the better choice. You see it a lot, sort of. It doesn't really matter what rank you're in. You'll see people just beltering stuff like that for a while. So it's good to go with that one, just so you can rock. Obviously, it's not that quick of a cooldown, but you know what I'm saying. You sort of get you get them cycled in. Massive impact. Accretion's knockback duration increases up to 3 seconds based on travel distance. Obviously, you're more likely to hit someone who's closer to you than far away. So it's better to go with the kinetic cycle, because then at least you can technically knock back more over time, and you get 2 positive buffs to absorbing projectiles, because 1, you get over health, 2, you get accretion. So yeah. Hyper strike. Every 5 direct hits with hyperspheres, your next successful quick melee levitates and knocks away enemies. That sounds awesome. That sounds so cool to watch in game, but very difficult. 5 direct hits obviously is quite easy, but then you've also got to melee someone, so we'll see what that does in game. I haven't seen like any of these in game. I haven't watched any streams, so I'm going based off of what I'm reading, and I feel as though it's sort of, it would be cool to see. I want to see that one. Levitation. Activate and hold double jump to briefly levitate upwards. People are going to get confused that he's ulting a lot to start off with, 100%. I know I am. I'm going to get confused that he's easy. The universe! You know, like, it's gonna sort of put me off. So, I got that sort of to think about. But Hyper Strike, you know, it depends on how much the levitation does and the knockback and such. We'll see. Winston. Short circuit. Tesla cannon deals 30% more damage to deployable objects. Yeah. Heavy landing during primal rage. Jump packs damage and area increased up to 75% while airborne. Good. Go with the heavy landing. The short circuit is only useful against healing pylon, against Torb turret, and that's basically it. You're not going to be able to destroy tree on your own. You're not going to be able to destroy sort of the more, I guess also teleporter. It will help destroying teleporter, but you know, you should be focusing on more things than that. Chain lightning, fully charged secondary fire hits, bounce up to 2 additional targets. This is something that we saw that they wanted to add in PvE. Now they're bringing it here. Perfect. It's good. I don't see how effective it will be outside of hitting low health enemies, but it is quite good. It is a good ability, so I'd say it's, yeah, you should go with that one. Revitalizing barrier. Barrier projector heals allies within it for 30 health per second. If that also heals Winston, go with that one over the chain lightning. Like I've been saying, keeping your team alive is very important, so go with that one. Also, if you're doing healing, if your tank is healing along with your support, it's a lot less likely that your supports will die and your supports will be flamed. You're sort of saving 2 people problems. Wrecking ball. Steamroller. Roll impacts deal 100% more damage to tanks. Not too important, but will help if you're rolling around on point. Pack rat. Health packs heal an additional 100 health. Depends on your playstyle, as Hammond really does. Choose which one you want there. I've never played him. I don't know. Hang time. Pile driver winds up longer, gaining air control and dealing up to 50% more damage. Yeah, it's quite nice. Transfer efficiency. Reactivating adaptive shield reduces its cooldown by 1.5 seconds per ally affected, and ally health gained is increased by... Wow. Wow. Okay, that's Okay, that one's interesting. Gotta go with that one. That's interesting. Yeah. That's game changing for Hammond. Uh, Jump ups. Secondary fire self knockback is increased by. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. It's by 75%. That is nice. Gravitation crush. Gravitation surge deals up to 30% of enemy max health as damage over time. That one. Doing that one in ult. Choosing that for your ult is better because it will allow sort of ults that just don't do enough damage to do enough damage. A lot better. Gotta go with that. 100%. Because the knocking up thing is cool. Someone showed sign where they hit him twice and they flew into the air, but it's not that important. So yeah, I would choose the Graviton Crush any day. Energy Lance. Particle Cannon's energy beam pierces enemies while over 50 energy. That's that's game changing. Spotter. Projected barrier activates ally health regeneration and increases their movement speed by 15%. Just really depends on how you play Zarya. You know, if you're playing Zarya a little bit more selfish, Energy Lance, 100%. If you're playing Zarya more team play, Spotter. That's nice. I like that. That's sort of like, it's just down to your playstyle and how the game's going. That's a good one to choose. Now going on to DPS perks. So Ash's minor perk is rapid fire. Unscoped shots gain 30% increased attack speed but deal 15% less damage. This just means that this just means that, you know, you're gonna have dung 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 like unscoped. It's gonna deal less damage. I mean, it's not too bad. It's kind of it feels like a big downgrade to lose 15% damage just because you could shoot a bit faster. But if that's, you know, if that's what you want, that's what you want. Well, you probably will choose it over Sidewinder, which is Coach Gun pushes Ash and enemies 20% farther. It's not really that useful. Obviously, you can probably use it to knock someone off the map, but you can also use it to knock yourself off the map by accident. So the rapid fire is probably more useful just in like many situations, so go with that one. Viper's Sting. Hitting 2 consecutive scope shots on a target deals 25% extra damage and reloads 2 ammo. I feel as though that's quite nice. That is quite nice. That sort of gives like a little bit more of a damage output and allows her to keep shooting. So as long as you're hitting someone, as long as you're going dun 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 dun, you don't have to reload, which is going to become crazy in those higher lobbies. This is going to go crazy in high ranks where people are hitting more shots, and also for the Smurfs and for the people that just have good aim and can play Ash. That's going to be crazy. Not needing to reload on a character it just makes them so much better, especially with the damage output that Ash has. So we'll see. This could turn Ash into a real big problem. I mean, she was already a big problem to begin with, so it is sort of, you know, scary to see what do they think they're doing, what are they doing. Like, let's see. Airburst. Dynamite has a 40% increased detonation radius while airborne and refunds 3 ammo when thrown. See, that's nice, and you get that ammo refunds, but it's not as easy. It's not as easy as the Viper Sting, so I'd choose Viper Sting any day. Now moving on to Bastion. Smart Bomb. A36 tactical grenade self knockback is increased by 25% and no longer damages you. That's kind of nice. Gets you into like better spaces. Or you can have armored artillery. Configuration artillery grants 300% 300 temporary overhealth. Realistically, you don't really get dived that much on your ult as Bastion, I don't feel. So I'd probably go with the I'd probably go with the armoured artillery just in case, though. The tactical grenade is quite nice, but it's not that important. Lindholm explosives. Configuration assault weapon slowly fires explosive shells instead of a rotary cannon. Now, That is quite nice. That is a good boost to Bastion's to his turret form, let's say. However, will this be a positive or a negative for him? We don't know just yet. You haven't really. When we see it more in games, we'll know. But for now, there's not really a clear evidence on it. Self-repair, press E to rapidly heal yourself. An ability from Overwatch 1. A massive pain in the arse, especially when he's in configuration assault. Because that version, or that form, turns him into sort of... Well, it reduces damage taken. So it just makes him like doubly as difficult to damage. So we'll see. Choosing which one. So probably go with the explosives. That's what I'll say. Cassidy's quick draw. Fan hammer shots are individually controlled and can crit for 50% more damage. I think that's quite effective. I don't really understand what it means by individually controlled. Is it like you press it and you can sort of like you shoot quicker but you can aim it? Probably. I like to see what that actually does. I'm not too sure. Past Dune. Deadeye refunds 30% ult charge if it fully expires. You're going to see a lot of Deadeyes run out. So I guess that's kind of nice, but it's not as good as Quick Draw. That will help you kill, sort of... that will help you deal a lot more damage to a tank, because that's what a Fan Hammer is usually for. So as long as you're hitting shots, it's all good. Right, major perks. Gunslinging. Critical hits with primary fire reduce the cooldown on combat roll by 3 seconds. That's crazy. 3 seconds. Combat roll, I believe, is a 8-second or 6-second cooldown. I believe 8. So, if you're going boom, boom... Well, yeah, if you hit 2 headshots, you basically got your roll again. So you go dun, dun, roll, dun, dun, roll, dun, dun, roll, dun, dun, roll. Crazy. And you take less damage when you're doing that. Obviously, you have to hit crits. Okay, I'm making it sound like all you got to do is hit the people. You got to hit crits. But, going up against a diva or something, you're going to hit the headshot so much easier. Does this... Okay, it is with primary... I was going to say, does it stack with the Fan and Hammer one? Because you'll be able to hit many crits with that. If you can shoot quicker against a tank. So we'll see. Bang Bang. Cassidy throws a second flashbang that travels further, but both flashbangs deal 30% reduced damage. Gunslinging's the way to go. There's undoubtable. There's no question at hand here. Gunslinging. Simple. Echo's minor perks. Friendly imaging. Duplicate can also target allies. Enhanced duplication. During duplicate, your clone's first ultimate extends duplicate's duration by 3 seconds. I think there's no need to duplicate allies. The enemies are always going to have at least one character that you can duplicate to change the game. So I'd say enhanced duplication, during duplicate, extend it by 3 seconds. Because some of them can get it quickly. Or like really quickly. So being able to extend it's better. Full salvo. Sticky bombs fires 50% more projectiles, but all sticky bombs deal 15% less damage. That's quite useful. I think because you can use the sticky bombs sort of like to put them on the floor and remove that as space. So being able to put even more down allows you to get more coverage. I mean, the 15% less damage is difficult, but that's what it is. What it is at the end of the day. High beams. Focusing beam eliminations reset flight's cooldown. Yeah, so this is another one where it just depends on your cooldown. Depends on the way that you play. Which I'm kind of liking. I wish that all of them were sort of a 2 different thing instead of one being clearly better than the other. Like you see with Ash's one, it's clearly better to, if you believe your aim is better, go with the aim. And, dealing bombs instead of just healing. I mean, healing in this game is quite high. And the DPS passive on healing is quite good. And you're gonna get that. So, But yeah, this one's definitely how you play based. So yeah. Genji, acrobatic, swift strike, resets double jump. Not too useful. I don't really see how that would help. Dragon's Thirst. Dragon Blade swings gain 30% lifesteal. It's that one. One of the biggest things that Genji mains talk about is 1, healing, 2, damage, and dying during their ult. This will stop them from dying during their ult and hopefully stop them from saying, I need help, I need healing, 100 times in chat for no reason when they're overextending. So, hopefully this does sort of help with that. Blade Twisting. Swift Strike deals 25 additional damage over time when used shortly after an elimination. Meditation. Regenerate 25 health per second while Deflect is active. I think that meditation is a better way to go. I think you're going to get your Swift Strike quite a lot, so obviously you could deal more damage, but that extra 25 isn't going to help you kill someone with another, because you can't get another Swift Strike after that's activated. Well, you can, but it sort of doesn't really work like that. So yeah, I'd say getting more health back again removes the whole I need healing thing, and you can use that in ult, and you can, yeah. So Hanzo's minor perk, Sonic Disruption. Sonic Arrow hacks nearby health packs for 12 seconds. Very nice. I don't really understand how that works, but it's nice. Scatter Arrows. Storm arrows split into 3 new projectiles on their first ricochet and bounce 2 extra times. Well, I think all of the original Overwatch players know that this just means that now means that storm arrows are going to be aimed at the floor. They're going to have to be aimed at the floor. There's no point of putting them down, or there's no point of hitting someone with them, because the ricochet isn't going to hit them. Hit it at the floor. Right. Dragon Fury. After hitting an enemy with primary fire, gain 25% attack speed for 1 second. Yeah. It's better than Yamagami technique, which is wall climb accelerates your lunge cooldown by 250%. Lunging is nice, but it's good. I don't mind that. So yeah, I'd go with Dragon Fury. Junkrat Aluminum Frame. Steel trap throw range is increased by 50%. Useless. The only reason why you do that is to throw it over an enemy team for them to walk back on. But it is a lot easier to throw it over an enemy team at its usual amount, because I'm gonna like demonstrate it here. So let's say this is the enemy team, and this is where the trap is. You know, they're gonna walk back into it. If you've thrown your trap all the way back here, they're not gonna be able to get here. There's this much ground to cover before they touch the trap. Obviously, it's not going to be actually that far, but it's a lot more likely that a team walks back into usual traps than further ones. So, and lots of put them down in front of them anyway, so it's pretty useless. Nitro Boost. During Riptire, use left shift to gain a quick boost of speed. Doing so reduces Riptire's damage by 50%. No. Why would you... Right. Both of them are bad. During Riptire, gain a quick boost of speed, but it reduces the damage by 50%. Riptire doesn't even do that much damage anyway. Well, it does, but what I'm saying is that if it did 50% less, is it still killing squishies from like a decent distance? Because if it's not, there's no need for that, but there's also no need for the trap. Feels like Junkrat has been really thrown against the wall here with these buffs. They're not actually really that good. So we'll see, but for now I'm not happy. I'm a massive Junkrat fan. I love playing Junkrat. Not as much as I love playing Lucio, but I love playing Junkrat. You know, I've got Lucio here. But we'll see. Frag cannon. Frag launcher's projectile speed is increased by 40%, but the max ammo is reduced by 1. Useful. Does take a lot of like muscle memory out of it, because obviously Junkrats like to throw a concussion mine, flick up to hit someone, and if the projectile's going a bit quicker, you have to sort of do it a bit earlier, and you have to change your muscle memory. So it's okay, and it does help with sort of catching people off guard. Obviously, that one less ammo is a bit of a... It feels a bit weird to have such a downside to these perks, whereas most of them don't have that. Feels like Junkrat has really been targeted here as a problem. Hopefully they buff him, base buff him. If they don't, it's actually upsetting, and I'm not happy with these changes, but we'll see. TikTok, concussive mine, arms 0.5 second after landing, increased damage by 50%, explosion radius by 50%, and health by 200%. Yeah, that one is the real deal. I like that. The only problem that I would have with it is that a lot of the time Junkrat just throws it out. Being able to throw it out onto the floor around a tracer and instantly killing her gets rid of that problem. Perfect. Really nice. Really nice one. 100% the pick there. Look, if that was the only one you could pick out of all 4, that's the only one you should pick. It is such a good buff for him, outside of all the others, because concussive mine is his most effective part of his kit. Big fan of that. Cool. That's an important one. I don't know if you can tell that I'm passionate about Junkrat, because I've actually gone very serious about this. But yeah. May. Chilling reach. Primary fire's range is increased by 30%. Good. Just good. Just allows May to be more dangerous against sort of deflecting characters. Permafrost, ice wall's duration and cooldown are increased by 2 seconds. I feel as though should have kept the duration at 2 seconds and the cooldown at the same it was, just so it makes it so it's not a positive and a negative, because there are so many that aren't positive negatives. I feel like you just need to have positives there, but it's going to be chilling reach, whatever. Biting cold, secondary fire hits slow enemies by 15% for 1.5 seconds, stacking up to 30%. You know, it's good on tanks. It is very effective against tanks. You go stung, 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 stung. You're going to keep hitting them, and you slow them down 30% and just keep slowing them down. Very good. But Cryostorm, Cryo Freeze slows and deals 70 damage per second to nearby enemies. That now means that you could be defending point and just jump on it in your ice thing, and it's you know, you're dealing 70 damage per second to anyone that's near you. Dump that on point on, let's say, Hollywood or something. You're getting that whole area, or you're getting a good part of it, and you're invulnerable. Very good. Gonna choose that one over the slow, depending on how the game's going. If you're on attack, it seems a bit more difficult to get use on it. You're gonna get more use on it on defense. Farah's drift thrusters. Farah can move while the barrage is active. That probably looks quite goofy, but is quite useful. That is a very useful one. Sort of, you know, the amount of times you'll hear Justice Reigns from above stare at her and go, "What are you doing?" and just kill her, because obviously she's not moving, and you could just tank it. Yeah, just get it gone. Get it gone. That's what I'm saying. Helix shields convert 75 health to shields. Look, it just depends on how you use her ult. Because if you don't really use it that well, convert health to shields, very nice change. Depends on also how quickly she can move in her ult. So, we'll see. But I'd probably choose drift thrusters. Helix shield just makes her more annoying, and I'm not an annoying person. I play Junkrat. Concussive implosion. Concussive blast knockback is inverted to a pull-in Obviously, they showed it in the trailer that you can pull them in. You can sort of pull them in to ult. So, yeah. Could do that. It's basically just a Zarya ult, but an ability. Really useful for certain things. So, that one's got to be the decision if you've got someone who plays Pharaoh on your team. Fuel stores. Jet Dash grants 50% fuel. Maximum overfuel is increased by 100%. Keeps her in the air. Obviously, not as useful as concussive implosion can be for, let's say, you've got a Junker Queen on your team, suck them in, and then you got like 30 to 35% ult charge on your Junker Queen. Junker Queen then has all of these other things. It's, yeah, you got to go with the concussive implosion. Just gonna check here how many left. Jesus. Reapers, Death Shadow. Shadow Step reloads Hellfire shotguns and has a 25% increased range. That's kind of nice. I would prefer it so it wasn't just screaming flanking and such. But I guess being able to teleport further is quite nice, and he reloads his shotgun, so it allows you to teleport in and dun. Not that you'd really teleport without having your guns reloaded, so it's a bit iffy. Soul Reaving, collect soul globes from dead enemies to restore 50 health. Another ability from Overwatch 1. Or actually, that was a passive from Overwatch 1. Yeah, it's nice. It doesn't remove his it doesn't remove the way that he self-heals now, his lifesteal. So I guess keep that. Yeah. I'd go with Soul Reaving instead of the TP. TP's not that important, and he still shouts that he is behind everyone. So, it's a bit poo. Dire Trigger. Use right mouse button to fire a volley with long range accuracy from both Hellfire shotguns. Crazy change that. He's never had sort of a longer range ability. I feel like saying long range accuracy is a bit bold. I feel like it's going to be better mid range. You're going to see it used mid range. So it gives him a whole new aspect to his play. Definitely go with Dire Triggers. Ravenous Wraith is nice. Leaving Wraith form grants 40% additional lifesteal for 3 seconds, but Wraith form is only used to get back to your supports or to get absolutely bummed by the enemies as soon as you get out of it. So, Dire Triggers, 1000% all day. Soldier, extended mag. Maximum ammo increased by 15. Quite nice. I would say it will help you get some picks. It's not a major change, but it does the job. Overcharge. Railgun's maximum energy is increased by 50 while overclock is active. Yeah. Railgun's maximum energy. Now it goes to 150, which one-shot headshots and probably does loads of damage body shots. Yes, that is the way to go. My biggest problem when playing Soldier is Soldier's ult. I don't feel like there is a need for it. So giving it a new sort of a breath of fresh air where you can now at someone, perfect. Really good. Yeah, that one all day. Dual thrusters. Power slide gains an additional charge and its jump height shifts to lateral movement. Yeah, I think you know, if you're getting away, it's good. But adhesive siphon. Disruptor shot can stick to enemies and regenerates railgun energy when dealing damage. It's that one. It's so much better. It is so much better than dual thrusters. You would prefer to deal more damage than to get away. Because if you're good enough, you won't need to have to power slide twice to get away. It's good with her ult, but in general, adhesive siphon. Soldier 76s. Minor perks. Recycled pulse munitions. Helios rockets reload 15 ammo if they damage an enemy. It's a bit iffy. Field emergency. Biotic field's healing is increased by 100% on critical health allies. Now, what is unclear to me with that perk description is, does this heal Soldier if he's crit? If it's heal Soldier when he's crit, that one. If it doesn't, it depends with the Helix rockets, because that does help him in his ult as well. So I'd say probably it just depends on how it heals. If it heals him more, go with that. If it doesn't, go with the recycled pulse munitions. Agility training. Sprint speed is increased by 20% and reload can be performed while sprint is active. That's nice in his ult. If Stimpack wasn't as good as it was. Stimpack. Biotic Field can be used as a Stimpack, increasing attack speed and reload speed by 30% while being unhealable for 4 seconds. Okay, so what this means is that he becomes a killing machine. So the way that you would do it is nano boost, stim, ult. Imagine Kiriko ult and nano boost with that. Dead. Incredible combo. Is 3 ults. I put up 4 fingers for 3. It's 4 ults. Incredible. But it just decimate a whole team. So yeah, Stimpack's the way to go, 100%. Viral efficiency. Virus cooldown is decreased by 3 seconds when an enemy affected by virus is eliminated. Not that useful. Obviously that gives you a little bit more of a damage output, but not that great. Control Alt Escape. Teleporting with Translocator while at critical health initiates health passive regeneration. I feel like if you're in a position where you're in critical health as Sombra, you're going to get hit again. People will track where you're teleporting. So, it's a bit risky. I would say Control Alt Escape anyway, though. White Hat. Hat can be used on allies to restore 100 health over 2 seconds. Yes. Stack Overflow. Hat's silence duration is increased by 100%, but its range is decreased by 30%. That's also very nice. Really just does depend on how you play Sombra. Do you want to be annoying or do you want to be a team player? If you're playing Sombra, you're an annoying cunt. Choose Stack Overflow to be annoying. The range is a bit iffy, but it's fine. It's fine. Because that will allow you to be a lot more helpful to your team, because they'll be able to kill supports, they'll be able to kill DPSs, they'll be able to kill tanks easier, so go with that one. Symmetra's Sentry Capacity. Sentry turret gains an additional charge. It's nice. Brings it up to, I think 4? I think it brings it up to 4. But you can only, you can only have 3 at a time though, I believe, but you can have 4. Advanced Teleportation. Teleporter's range is increased by 50%. That's quite nice. I feel like both of those are just sort of, what do you want? What do you want? It's not as important. It's just, whichever one do you feel like you would need? And the major perks. Perfect Alignment. Primary fire's range increases by 15% with each additional charge level. That's really useful. That is so the way that Symmetra's thing will charge, the fact that it could get to, because I think it charges twice, so you're getting 30% longer range, doing the most damage she can. Really nice. Shield Battery. Symmetra regenerates 20 shields per second while within 10 meters of her teleporter. No. Perfect Alignment. The shield battery would be nice if it generated shields for teammates, but it says it only generates it for Symmetra, so no. Perfect Alignment, 100%. Torbjorn's Craftsman. Forge Hammer can restore armor health to allies. Turret repairs heal is increased by 25%. Forge Hammer can restore armor health to allies. That's just funny. You have Torb and Rhino. You have Torb behind him just going. I like that. I like the idea of it. I think that's very fun. I think that's sort of a more quick play thing. That doesn't seem as good as activating Overload, fully refills rivet guns ammo. That's just really helpful. The hammer's funny. The other one's just useful. So, if you're playing comp, fully loaded. If you're having fun with your friends, Craftsman, 100%. Anchor bolts. Deployed turret's throw range is increased by 50% and it can now attach to walls and ceilings. That's nice. That is nice. However, I do feel like it will be destroyed quite easily. Unlike overloaded turret. Overload, upgrade your turret for 5 seconds, increasing its health and damage. Using the model of the level 3 turret in Overwatch 1 is cool. I am a bit upset that anchor bolts and overloaded turret are two different ones. I would have liked to have seen both of them at the same time, having a level 3 turret on a wall, but beggars can't be choosers. I think it's still quite a fun thing. Tracer. Blink packs. Health packs restore 1 blink charge. That's quite nice, especially with Tracer being a self-sustained DPS. That's quite nice. Blast from the past. Pulse bomb's radius is increased by 50%. Now, to people that play Tracer, I dabbled in Tracer. I can't hit a fucking pulse bomb for the life of me. I cannot hit a pulse bomb with any part of my body. So, blink packs. But I know for people that do hit them or don't hit them, you know, a bigger radius will allow her ult to be better. So probably, you know, whichever one you feel like you need. Flashback, recall, restores all blink charges. This is something that I've been thinking about for years. Why don't they do it? And they have now. And I think just because I want to see how it does, I want that. Better than Quantum Entanglement, which recall grants 50% or 50 over health that decays over time. Bit useless. Flashback. It allows you to get away even more. Seismic Sense. Venture's minor perks. Seismic Sense. While underground, Venture can sense enemies within 25 meters. That's kind of crazy if someone's like hiding. I wonder if that works with Invisible Sombras. That's the thing. That's what I want to see there. Excavation, Exhilaration. While Tectonic Shock is active, cooldowns refresh 300% faster. That's just nice. Because what you can do with that is ult, underground, come up, boom, 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 boom. Then you know, or you can use any cooldown during that. It's really nice. Smart Excavator's range is increased by 25%. That being a major perk and Seismic Sense being a minor one I feel like they should be flipped. Covered in dirt. Dealing damage with Clobber grants up to 30 Explorer Resolve shields. Yeah. I think Clobber is just a melee. That's nice. I feel like the range is better though. So I'll go with the range. And finally for DPS is Widowmaker. Scoped efficiency. Scope shots cost 3 ammo instead of 5. You can shoot more as Widow without reloading. It's okay. Focused aim. Scope shots charge 50% faster during infra sight. Nice. That is nice. That gives her a lot more output to her ult than just being, ooh, I can see you. So, yeah, focused aim. Definitely. Escape plan. Scope shot hits reduce grappling hooks cooldown by up to 4 seconds. See, up to 4 seconds. It takes about 12 seconds anyway. So, you got to hit a few shots for it to... Unless it's per shot, I don't know. But it really doesn't help too much. Venom Mine gains 50% increased damage and a second charge, enabling 2 active mines at a time. Yeah. That's good against divers. It's good against divers. I'd probably go with that one if I was to play Widow and get dived on. So, yeah. Finally, the support hero perks. Starting with Anna's minor perks. Groggy. Enemies waking up from sleep dart are slowed for 2 seconds. That's quite nice. That is quite nice. Biotic bounce. After exploding, biotic grenade bounces and explodes again for 50 damage and healing. See, that's really difficult and quite good. Because that means... Does that mean like it like bounce and then bounce again, healing allies? Does it give anti-heal to more people? I guess we'll see, but it's got to be the biotic bounce. That makes Anna a lot more damaging and a lot more healing. The major perks. Now, this one is 100% like playstyle based. This one is difficult. Because Bioshock Rifle can crit enemies. Really good. But using Nano Boost also casts it on Anna. Keeping Anna alive and making Anna deal more damage base is... yes. Yes. Like, it just depends on what you want to do. It's really difficult. It's really difficult to choose. So, depends on how the game's going. Baptiste. Field Medicine. Immortality Field restores 80 health to nearby allies and 40 health to Baptiste when destroyed. That's nice. That is nice. It will get destroyed, so it's good to have that, especially when the lowest you can be on is 20. 50 health. I think it's 50 health. So that regens you when it's destroyed and you... yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Automated Healing. After placing Amplification Matrix, your shoulder turret periodically fires up to 12 shots at allies, each restoring 25 health. That's... it's got to be Automated Healing. I feel like the Field Medicine is okay, but that one's really good. That really helps with, like, Baptiste focusing on his... oh, that's nice. Go Automated Healing, 100%. Assault Burst. Regenerative Burst grants Baptiste 20% attack speed for 4 seconds, but no longer instantly heals. Ooh. That's his only use of self-heal. I'll probably... but the Rocket Boots is kind of a bit iffy. They're both a bit weird. Again, I would say this is another one where you choose. It's just depending on how the game's going. Barrier Briggs minor perks. Barrier Restoration. Shield Bash restores 100 health to Barrier Shield when it hits an enemy. That's kind of nice. Keeps the shield going and allows Brig to be more offensive. That's nice. Morale Boost. Inspire lasts 3 seconds longer when activated by Whip Shot. That one. And the only reason why I say that one is because of this. But we'll start off with Quick Fix. Repair packs instantly heal an additional health to critical health enemies. That's nice. However, the Inspire plus Whiplash. Whip Shot's knockback can slam enemies into walls, dealing 50 extra damage. It's just nice. It's just helpful. It's useful. It's good. So, Morale Boost, Whiplash, combo, perfect. Okay. Illari, Rapid Construction. Healing Pylon builds 300% faster and its cooldown is reduced by 1.5 seconds. Very nice. Most Illaris will only use the turret to heal, so it's nice. Summer Solstice. Illari's flight time during Captive Sun is increased by 3 seconds and her flight speed is increased by 20%. Yeah, it's nice, but it's not as good as having that healing pylon on. That's only really useful for her role. So, Rapid Construction. Solar Power. Fully charged solar rifle hits grant 12.5% of your maximum solar energy, overfilling up to 50%. So it's sort of like keeping it going more and more. Okay, it's okay. Sunburn, Outburst ignites enemies, dealing an additional 70 damage over 3 seconds. I feel like you go with Sunburn. I feel like, yeah. Sunburn's good. Juno. Familiar Vitals. Pulsar torpedoes lock onto allies 35% faster. That's nice. One of the problems with Juno is healing, and that allows her to heal more. So that's good. That is good. Hyper Boost. While using Glide Boost, passing through her Hyper Ring pushes you forward. Familiar Vitals. It is Familiar Vitals. Master Blaster. Meta Blaster can crit enemies. Yes. The reboots. Activating Glide Boost resets double jump. Master Blaster. Right. One of the biggest issues with Juno, and I don't know why this is a perk. This is stupid as a perk. Why can't Juno crit? We'll see when it's actually there. But Juno critting, good. Have that. Overwatch's favourite character. Overwatch's girl, Kiriko. Urgent care. Healing O through the projectile speed is increased by 50% when seeking critical health allies. Nice. A fortune teller. Kunai hits. Launch 2 healing Ofuda to an ally in front of you. Fortune teller. You could just DPS carry. What are they doing? Why are they giving Kiri really good ones? Shuffling. Swift step can be used again within 4 seconds of its initial cast. And that just... Does that keep going? You can just go, oh, I teleport to you. I teleport to you. I teleport to you. I teleport to you. So as soon as it's cast once, it's an 8-second cooldown. It goes from a 6 or 8 second cooldown down to a 4. And she's already annoying enough to kill now. Brilliant. Foxtrot. Protection Zuzu grants 40% movement speed to allies for 4 seconds. You can use that to boost your team to be more aggressive. They're both really good. You choose each one, but Fortune Teller for the first one. Life Weaver. Cleansing Grasp. Life Grip cleanses negative effects. I'm not reading the other one. At this point, I'm not. That one. Again, another ability where I feel like, why isn't it just his base thing? If Venture can go underground and cleanse, why can't he go and cleanse? Who knows? Stupid. Life Weaving. Rejuvenating Dash adds 20 healing to your next healing blossom within 3 seconds. That's quite nice. Thorns detonate for 30 extra damage when enough stick within 1.5 seconds. Depends on how much enough is, but that is quite nice. I would say Super Bloom. Keep him alive. Right. This is where my expertise come in. Lucio. Okay. I'm gonna hold him up the whole time into the camera so you know. Base Blowout. Soundwave's knockback is increased by 15%. Yeah. Really, really nice. Really good. However, Grooving, regenerate 4 ammo per second while wall riding, is also really good. So, God knows. Probably Base Blowout though, because it's so much more fun to knock people off the map than to shoot more ammo. Which then leads to Noise Violation. Crossfade's range is increased by 150% while Amp It Up is active. Depends on if you want to be a support or Accelerando, which is Lucio attack speed is increased by 50% while Amp It Up is active. That one all the way. DPS Lucio. Hey! It's that one all the way. No. Well, yeah. Yeah. It's attack speed. Just because I think it'd be fun. That's about that for that one. Mercy. Angelic Recovery. Mercy receives 15 health per second while healing, while her staff is attached to a full health ally. That is bad. That is actually quite bad. And the reason why I say that is quite bad is because most problem that people have with Mercies now is they don't damage boost enough. And now that's going damage boost even less. So you can stay alive. No. Oh, wait. My apologies. I thought it said healing. No, you can damage boost as well. That's fine. I take back that wrong. I take it back. My bad. I read that wrong. Winged Reach. Guardian Angel's range is increased by 30%. I feel like most Mercies will go with that one. But Angelic Recovery is also really useful. Chain Boost. Secondary fire links to a second nearby ally. Yes. Yeah. Flash Heal. Resurrect can be used on her staff's active target to restore 150 health. It's a bit iffy. That's an instant 150 health, but removes resurrect, so God knows. Vanish. Phage duration is increased by 0.5 seconds. Phage jump height is increased by 50%. Vanish. That's really boring. Moira's is really boring. Ethical nourishment. Biotic orbs first 50 healing is instant on each ally it encounters. That's really nice. That's really good. Contamination. Enemies being damaged by biotic orb receive 25% reduced healing. That's a really difficult one, but less healing means more for your team. So contamination, definitely. And finally, the final line of perks, Zenith Kick. Snap Kick's knockback distance is increased by 30%. Really fun, really nice, but Ascendance. Activate and hold double jump to hover for up to 3 seconds. That one's the one. Ascendance. Really fun. I like that, and is useful for Zen, so that one it is. Focused Destruction. Secondary fire charges 20% faster and can store 1 extra orb of destruction. You see how that doesn't have a negative to it. That just makes it so he can kill people quicker. Yeah, that one. Duality. Zenyatta heals Orb of Harmony targets for 20% of the damage dealt to Orb of Discord targets. No. Make him deal more damage. That is sort of where that is at. So, with all of these changes, I believe that there are some that have clear decisions, some that are individual, and some that are just downright, well, bad. Obviously, update comes out soon. So we'll see how these actually occur in game, but for now it's looking like there's going to be a lot of interesting changes to the game, and the game is going to be completely different. I am quite worried with sort of trying to learn all of this again, because it's difficult learning the game initially, but we'll see. And I will probably touch on it when it comes out soon.